G'day again, John Down and Tunage here in Melbourne, Australia.
Welcome to Bodgy Brothers Production.
Yeah, well, how many takes we've done so far? It has been podgy, so let's see if we can get through it this time. I'm having a go at TKR VideoCentral's competition, or TC. Yeah, the guy with the absolute rainbow shirt. He was doing a contest for what he wanted 200 subs, and as of earlier this evening, we saw you're up to 445. So I'll make sure I get it up to 446 for you, mate. And yeah, there's been tons of entries for this fantastic competition. And I don't think anybody's shown a record where I've gone, oh, I've got that. So yeah, hopefully I can continue. But yeah, there's a guy called Ben Rankins here in Melbourne. He'll probably have some of these. So yeah, the challenge is on, Ben. When I saw your video, I didn't have any of them, except for one that I used to have, but I gave it away to somebody and haven't seen it back. So
and nobody will have yours as well. Yours are very, very strange.
We'll see. All right, so the first one to show, yeah, they'll all be Australian, so that's a sort of bit of a spoiler alert. And the first one to show is an LP from 1982 by a Perth act, which, according to Discogs, they're called Ace of Fools, and the album's supposedly called Headline. But from stuff I've been looking up, I went to a West Oz specialist thing on Facebook actually just this afternoon, and apparently the band is Headline, and that's the album is called Ace of Fools, and this is 1982 that we picked up at a market just on a blind buy.
Very unusual.
Yeah, nice artwork, label. And on this, what made us wonder is we've got this book that came out in Australia by a guy called Paul McHenry. And there's I think 3 volumes of this. And this is called Musical Loners. And it's about artists or albums that they've only got one record done. Or one and done, as they call it. And they're in here as headline. So that's why I was pretty sure that the headline is right. But I'll need someone to sort of confirm that. So that's Headline. And what'd you say? The record is something that, they apparently sound a bit like they're trying to do too much. And that's what the guy said in the book. And Mrs. D had the same idea. So that was, she's a very good reviewer. So respect to her for that. Anyway, second one to show is, this is a self-titled by Sticky Beat. They're an Adelaide 5-piece girl group and a one-off. That's the only album they did. And I picked this up for $5 at the second-hand market. I couldn't believe it. And this is prior to Discogs, before I even knew about Discogs. So yeah, they were just things that you just thought, oh, I'll buy that. And it turned out to be pretty good. But yeah, there they are there. This is sort of salsery, funky, dancey. Yeah, it's a really good listen, actually. Surprisingly so, yeah. Really good artwork. And there's the label there. Yeah, like I said, 1989, one-off. And they were a South Australian 5-piece all-girl group. So that's Sticky Beat. Next one is a bit more well-known, so I'm pretty sure somebody should have this. And this is a band called the Crocodiles, which originally came from New Zealand. This is Looking at Ourselves album from 81. And this is a Aussie version on, what was it, Stun. Yeah, it's not Stum, which is, it was Stum Records. That wasn't Depeche Mode, was it? Stum? Oh, no, that one. Yeah, Stum.
So it's Mute.
Oh, Mute, yeah. Well, this is Stun label, and this is an Aussie pressing of them. Yeah, they were. Yeah, and the lady there, Jenny Morris, she was the one that went on to bigger and better things. She did she had an album. She had an artist. She had a band called QED, which the song on here, she did that as QED as well. The song Everywhere I Go, that's quite well known here in Australia, that track. So that's something that, another band that Jenny had. And then Jenny Morris did have quite a successful solo career in the late-ish 80s here in Australia. So that's...
When you bought that, did you know she was in the band?
Oh, yeah. I think they've got another one as well. But that's, the Crocodiles So New Zealand / Australia. Next is actually one of the few shoegaze artists that I can think of that were Australian, and this is an EP, and they're called Jupiter, and it's almost impossible to see, but yeah, the album's called, or the EP is called 3. Yeah, very shoegazy cover. That's rather like, you know, your Lushes and your My Bloody Valentines. Good question. Riff, I don't know. So that's yeah, this is not that rare, so yeah, maybe somebody will have this, but there's, yeah, it's like a 4-track EP, and God, what's that label? I can't remember what it is, but yeah, so that's another one from the very early 1990s, which shoegaze was in its prime, till it was ruined by grunge, so yeah, thanks grunge, but that's, yeah, Jupiter, and the album's called 3. Next one is one of our, what Aussies are good at it, having band names that are quite subtle or good puns or something. And this is a band called the God Botherers. And this is Jesus Christ, It's the God Botherers. And they're on, they're on a well-known label here for indies, which is Phantom. And yeah, there's the back.
Anyone famous in that?
Oh, I don't know about famous, but that, yeah, there's a guy called Daniel Morphet. He's the singer. I think there's a clip on YouTube with them, with one of the tracks.
He has got the most amazing voice.
Yeah, it's a bit, what would you call it?
Ian Curtis style.
Yeah, a little bit Joy Division-ish. So yeah, if you know that sound, they're similar. I wouldn't say they're exactly that, but that's a similar style. What is this?
Mournful style.
Yeah, this is 1989. And then another one that Morphet was in. Oh, strange. I haven't looked up what this means, but the Craven Fops. And this is Spin the Bottle. And this is an EP from memory. Yeah, 3 tracks. Yeah, 3 or 4 tracks on it. And Mr. Morphet, yeah, he's in this one as well. And yeah, this is another good Aussie indie label, and that's the Half a Cow. Craven Fops, 91. So this is...
What other bands are in Half a Cow Productions?
Oh God, can I remember? I don't... There are, yeah, it does have a few, but yeah. Unsolicited question from the background, so we'll let that one go. But there's another sort of quirky Aussie group, was the Craven Fops. Next one is a synthy duo, sort of in the vein of Yazoo, but definitely not as well known as them, and that is Plan 8, which is Phil Colville and Kat Critch. And yeah, Mr. Colville's doing a bit of a Joe Biden on Kat's hair there and having a good sniff. And this is their only sort of album that they put out. It's like a live album. And there's Kat, which was spelt Cat as in C-A-T. And Phil Colville, who was, worked the keyboards. I think they did one track on Countdown from memory, and they went crazy with the Smoke Machine too, which I remember. Oh God, what's that song they had? Da 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 da. Yeah, the song was called Reach, that's right. Yeah, I've got that somewhere on 7 or 12 inch, I can't remember which one I've got, but yeah, that's sort of a lesser known Aussie one. And what year was this? 87. Very synth pop, so if you don't like 80s synth, don't buy it, but yeah, they should have done better. It was one of those ones where they sort of here and gone very quickly. Kat still works, apparently, and she had a couple of bands, well, way back into the 70s. I know Duck Suit was one of them, but there's no complete albums. I think they're on a couple of compilations, but you haven't found them yet. So that's Plan 8. And yeah, to finish off with a few singles, and the aforementioned Kat Critch. That's her entire vinyl output there. And she had a song called A Rose for You, which this is a 7 inch for. on that 222 again. It's one for Richie Benno fans, 222. And yeah, so this is, yeah, if you want Cat Critch's discography, there it is there. And what year was this? What year? Yeah, good question. 87, yes, that came out the sort of same time as the Plan 8 stuff. And the next one to show is the most recent that I've found that I'm going to show, because most of my stuff's sort of 80s, very early 90s, but this is a low budget and tailor-made, and this was another one of those picked up for $2 at a second-hand shop, and it's worth quite a bit more than that. This is an Aussie hip-hop sort of group, and this is on a clear bluish-green vinyl. Goodness me, what year? Yeah, 2008. And this one, yeah, so it's limited as to 150, but apparently the first 50 are the blue, and then the next 100 are the plain black. So the 50, the blue ones are the really rare ones. And yeah, mine's number 20 of supposedly 50. Yeah, it's I think there's a clip on YouTube if you want to look them up. But yeah, the A side's called Tailor Made, and that's one that I don't think many will have. I think there's only about 15 or 20 on Discogs. So that's yeah, 7-inch that was sort of like a lucky find. And the last one, we absolutely adore this, don't we, darling? And this is The Disappointments, and the song Arnold the Bat. This is just genius, isn't it? Great song. Yeah, she won't say she likes it, but she does. And yeah, the B-side is an instrumental. It's called $50 for a dirty number plate. And this wasn't even on Discogs when we got it, so I've had to do that. So only 2 people have got this. And looking at the names, sort of after the event sort of thing, and the artwork is Dan Luscombe for one of them. And he did some work with Paul Kelly, who was he's a well-known sort of folky, conscious type singer here in Australia.
Yeah, they just named a street.
Yeah, they just named a street in Adelaide after Paul Kelly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Dan Luscombe, and he's the brother of a guy called Peter Luscombe, who also has worked with PK and other people as well. And the only thing we could find is there is actually a CD by The Disappointments, and it came out in about 96, and these 2 tracks are in the CD, like the Arnold the Bat and the $50 for a dirty number plate. So we're thinking this vinyl is roughly 96, but yeah, as I said, nobody had it on Discogs when we found it, so
when we first heard it, we couldn't stop playing it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's quirky. Yeah, I'm just sort of too scared to put stuff on YouTube with sound because of all the copyright issues and stuff, so rather than put up with that, we'll just, yeah, I don't even know if you can see it on YouTube. I'm not sure if anybody's even put it up, but yeah, Arnold the Bat from The Disappointments. And it just put an extra one in that is non-Australian, but hopefully I'd love somebody to have this and show it, because nobody ever has. And it is the utterly gorgeous Diamanda Galaz. And this has just been re-released by her last year. It took just this year before we could actually get the vinyl copies. And this is the self-titled album, which is also called Panopticon. And that is on, what's her album? Intravenal Sound Operation. So with a bit of luck, she'll start re-releasing all her stuff. And there's a few that only ever came out in CD.
Aren't these supposed to be a record that nobody has? Everyone's going to have that.
Good luck. Yeah, I want to see it. If you've got it, show it. And I'll sub you up straight away if you've got it. Because I don't think... The only person I've ever seen show a Diamanda Galaz record was a guy called Richard Riley. And he showed the one that's an absolute grail for me, which is the one she did with John Paul Jones.
Legend.
Yeah, The Sporting Life, and I've only got that on CD, but the vinyl, yeah, you're paying $200 in Australia if you can find one. I do know a guy that's got one, but he's a Zeppelin fan, so that's why he's got it. But yeah, this is one that has just come out, so yeah, if you do have Diamanda Galaz on record, show it.
And
oh yeah, she's my dark queen, I love her. So there's There she is. Yeah, she's got this fashion at the moment of doing everything negative. So that's like a negative. And just to show what the original looked like, which I do have, and that's what she looks like there with a multi-microphone setup and gorgeous smiling face there.
Bizarre.
Yeah, she does
Wonderfully bizarre.
She does not do humour. Yeah, you don't mess with the Amanda, I'll tell you what. But that's what the original looks like.
Bizarre.
Oh my God, she's stunning. Yeah, she'll scare the crap out of people probably if you don't really get into that. So she was on mute at one stage, which I can't remember if this one is, but yeah, the latest stuff she did on mute, but now she's got her label back and she's putting out her own stuff. So that's to finish off for the contest. Yeah, so that's sort of 10 plus 1. So great contest TC, and as I said, there's tons of entries that you're getting, and deservedly so, because it's really fascinating to see what everybody's got and the sort of what would you call the lesser known gems in people's collections. So everybody who watched, thanks very much, and I'll see you later.